This is part 6 of our Pocket Reference Altered Book 2.0 series. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this pop-out flowers along with 3 bonus pockets to add to our altered cookbook. Welcome, it's Winnie from BellaSunshyn. To make each of these flowers, we need to cut something that's going to be square. To determine the size of your pop-up flower is really going to depend on what you're trying to achieve and also what size your book is or the journal that you're going to put this pop-up flower. To determine that, what you would need to do is you need to measure the width of your book, and this is 8 1/4, so I can actually go as big as 7.5 by 7.5, which is really going to be big, and that is going to cover the whole page, kind of like this one, like this. So what you need to do is go ahead and cut out your squares like this. The one I have is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and you'll need 7 pieces of this. You might want to cut a couple of extra just in case you mess up. Now that we have our squares, the next thing we need to do is determine whether this is the inside of your flower or do you want the plain as your inside of your flower. Once you decide that this is what I want, you need to go ahead and fold it to make a triangle like this. So that's one fold. Then you need to fold it again like this to make another triangle. And you just need to line it up the best that you can. You probably need to get your bone folder to help you really crease the fold. Okay, once you have this, then you want to take this end and this end, and this is like in 2. I would rather use this, push this down so I can kind of line them up. Because when you do it this way, this tends to move like this and then it doesn't get folded properly. So I would hold this down and then put this, this in place, and then use my bone folder to really crease to make the fold. So that's what we have. So again, you're folding it, fold it to make a triangle. Then you're going to fold it like this to make another triangle. And then you're going to fold it like this to make a third triangle. So you're folding it 3 times, and you need to go ahead and do this 7 times. So I have mine all folded, and as you can see, I went ahead and clipped it. I did it overnight, or you can do it for a couple of hours. It just helps. Instead of opening like this, then they kind of stay on pretty close. You see the difference? Okay, so now that you have them all folded, what we need to go ahead and do is open them all. Oh no, I'm sorry, not open. What we need to do is actually cut the shape that we want for our flower. So with this one, I'm going to make it easy for you guys. So with this one, you need to hold your triangle. You need to do a 90-degree upside down, because the 90-degree is right here, right? And this is all folded. This is where the opening, and that's opening. So what you need to do is go ahead and cut. You know how we used to make a perfect heart? That's basically what we're doing here. So I'm just cutting to make a heart. And you can go as big as you want, as small as you want, whatever you guys want. Just make your heart. Like this. See, there's our heart, and when we open it, we have that. So once you are happy with the shape of your flower, what you need to go ahead and do is, now this is your template. So you have the template, and what you would need to do is line up your template to your triangle like this, and then you need to go ahead and trace it. Because you want the flower to be about the same. So you need to go ahead and do all of that to all the 7 petals, not petals, but the 7 squares that we cut. So we're gonna go ahead and trace this. And then once you have it all, you need to go ahead and cut each one of them. So I have all my flowers cut out, and I went ahead and unfolded them. The next thing we need to do is we need to make sure our flowers are all in the same direction, especially if you are using like a book page. You want all the writing to be facing the same way instead of, you know, like this. You don't want one that's upside down. Because we will have to cut a petal off of this, we want to make sure that we are cutting the same thing to make our alignment as even as we can possibly do. So with mine, my marking is, you can see the heart over here and down here. So I'm just gonna line mine up in the same direction. Okay, and then once I have that, what we're going to do is mark our flowers. So with this one, we are going to, I'm choosing the bottom, the upside down heart, and I'm going to mark a 1 and a 2. And you need to do that on 5 of your petals, not petals, on 5 of your flowers. So on the last 2 that we have, we're going to mark this a little bit different. So with this one, we are the same. We're going to mark an L here instead of a 1, and then a 2 over here. And on the last piece, where the L is, we're actually going to put 2, and then we're doing an R for right. Because when we do this, this is going to be our starting flower. This is what's going to be glued into the page. So once we fold it like this, we're gonna have these 3 petals, and they're gonna be all glued together. And this is what we are gluing to our page like this. We want it to be sturdy, and that's why we're doing 3 petals like this. So with this one, I am going to put an L here, so I remember, like this. Then on this one is the right, and so I'm going to put R. So as you can see, this is in the middle, and then this is in the middle, and it's going to go like this. And once we put them together, they lined up pretty good. Now if we did it like one of these, let's see what it was. I can show you guys what it would look like. Okay, this is the L. And once you do that, you see how our petals are not lining up, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Okay, so these, you'll put this aside. Then on these, what we're gonna do is, you see where the 1 is? Just so we know where it's gonna be double, I'm gonna go ahead and put an X on each one of them. So the next step here is going to be, now we're going to decorate. You can decide what you want to do with your flowers, but mine is going to be pretty easy, and I am just going to show you guys how I would decorate mine. As you can see, the 1 and 2, I'm going to go ahead and start off with 2, and I'm just going to make some marking. Once you are happy with the design that you like, then the next thing you need to do is to go ahead and do it on all 7 of them. Now, but keep in mind, what you want to do is you want to be consistent. So as you can see, I started on 2, and my line is a long line, and then it went small, long, small. You want to be consistent with all of them. So when I start a new flower, I need to make sure I go with a longer one, because when you do fold this up like this, you want it all to be consistent. So I have my flowers decorated, and I'm just gonna pull out the one that's L and the R. Put these 2 aside, and we have the 5 flowers. Now what we're going to need to do is we're gonna go ahead and cut off number 2. So in all of our flowers, we are gonna go ahead and cut the 2. Like this. I know you guys could have cut the petal first, but it makes it a lot easier to decorate your flowers before you cut. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut just 5 of my flowers. I'm leaving the R and the L intact. And now that I have them all cut up, what I want to do next is going to ink all around my petals. Now this is, of course, is optional. I'm going to go ahead and use my Rustic Wilderness to go ahead and ink them. And what I would do here, now on the 1, you don't really need to ink this here because it will be covered. It'll be covered like this. So I will show you guys what it would look like after I ink. I have all my flowers inked. So as you can see here, I didn't ink this side. And here's the right side, I didn't ink this. And the left, I didn't ink this. I did ink the back because when you put them together, I made enough of this that you can never really line them up properly. As you can see, we got a gap here. This is not inked. And as you can see here, there's like a white gap. So to avoid that, if you ink the back already, you're not going to see it. So now we're going to go ahead and put them, we're going to glue them together. The way I glue it is, I will take my flowers, there's the 1, and I'm putting this on top. So I'm hiding that number 1 so I could never see it again. So I just line up as much as I can on the petals like this. And it is a lot easier if you put it down like this, and then to keep it in place, lift, and then take your glue and I'm gluing just around it. And it's okay if you're not able to put glue on there, like on the very edge here, it's fine. And then I just make sure that it's on there, and then you just want to fold it before it dries like this, and then just let it sit like that. Let's do another one. Okay, so for this one, what you're doing is now you're going to put glue on. We're going to start out with the right side. So we're going to put glue just around like this, not too close to the edge. And then we're going to put the two on top of it like this. And you just want to line up the best that you can. Like this, and then you are going to glue this here. Like this. You see, there's our R. Okay, again, we're putting glue on where the letter is. Putting two on top like this. And then we're going to put glue here. Okay. Then we're going to let them sit and make sure that they are dry for a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and take our left. So the L should be in the middle and the R should be in the middle. So we're going to put the right on the side. And as you can see, all our X's should also be in the middle, like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start gluing. And with this one, we're going to put the L down like this, and we are, you see these X's, this is where we're going to glue. But before you start putting glue, what you need to do is look at your flower and see which one will line up pretty good to your flower. So I have this, that looks pretty good. Then you want to try to find one on the other side. That's not lining up pretty good, so you just need to keep looking. So like that. That looks good. So we're going to put this and this like this. I have my two pieces. So what I like to do is I'm going to try to go ahead and line it up the best that I can like this. I'll put it down like this and hold the petal down and lift this up. And we are just going to put a dab of glue. I don't know if you guys can see the X. We're just putting a little bit of glue, circle. Can you guys see that? I'm gonna see. See? We're just putting it right there. And then we're gonna glue. Like that. So the same one here. Oh, see, that one's not lined up. I'll have to try to redo it again. This is why it's better to line it up first and then put the glue like this. And you want to wait till that dries. I think that's dry. So now we still have our L right here. And we're going to continue. And now we are going to put glue here, here, and here. And I'm trying to put, the X is where I'm actually going to be putting glue. So again, with this one, you're going to take one of your flower and then see which one is going to line up better. As you can see here, that's not lining up. Then maybe we switch it like this, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put glue, working on one petal at a time. You always want to give it a couple of minutes before you continue to glue. So now, again, here's the L. We're still there. Turning it over. Now we are going to put glue here and here. Then the other side is going to be the opposite, of course. It's going to be this one here and here. So we're going to work with one at a time. It's going to go like this. Like this. So here's our last piece. And now we want the R facing us. There's the left. And now we're going to go ahead and glue this. And we are going to put glue here, here, and here. Glue like this. And then if you want to, I'm going to write out here, actually. Just so in case I ever look at this, I want to know what the size is. I'm just putting the size. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this, and then we want to make sure that all the glue are dry. So I'm going to give it about 10 minutes before I glue it to my journal. And I will show you guys on how to do that. I think this is dry. So now let's just do a little test. I'm going to hold on to the R for the right and then the left, and then opening up our flower. And that worked. So you want your flower to be flexible on opening. That's why we only put a little bit of dot glue, and that's all you really need to kind of hold your flowers together. So this is one design, and let me show you guys other design I made. I have this one, looks like that, and this one, when I decorated the page, it looks like this, but then as folded, this is where the fold is, and this is what it looks like. You just cut here and kind of make it pointy. So the heart kind of looks like this. Then I have another one that looks like this. And this one, it looks like this. And I just didn't do the dots on my pages. I kind of didn't like that. But this is what it looks like once you decorate it. And let's see, to have what it is, it looks like here's the fold right here, and it looks like a funky heart. The petal looks like that, and then when you open it, you look like you have a double heart. So that's what this one looks like. Then the last one I have looks like this, and this one looks like this. And the way it looks, here's the folded, and here's the cut. It's kind of like a straight type of heart. So the heart looks like this. And that's what this one looks like. They're all the same size. So now let's go ahead and glue them to a journal. So with this, you can really mass make and just hold it until you have a journal to put it in, just like the way I did. I have 4 now. So I am going to take this journal, and I already have a spot. I want to put it in here, and I'm going to use the red. So as you can see, I have the mark, the double X, and then the double X here. So I know that is where I'm going to be gluing. So with this one, I am going to just line up my petal not too close to the edge, like this, right? Then I am putting glue on the back of this. And so I'm going to go ahead and put glue like this. I think we might need to put more glue, but we'll see. We're just going to hold it here, and we're going to wait until it dries before we glue the other side. Okay, looks like. All right, I think that's dry. So now I ended up having to move a little bit more, so maybe like 1/8 away from the spine. And now we're gonna go ahead and put glue here. And to do that, you wanna go ahead and take the page, the closing page, and just let it sit there. Now, this one for sure, we're gonna wait for maybe 10 minutes to make sure that it's all dry before we check to see if it works. Moment of truth, let's see. And there it is, our pop-up flower. I'm gonna go ahead and put more glue on the edge here and also on the other side just to make sure it's secure. But for the most part, it is done. So if you do mass make them, you know, where you put the R and the L, you might want to put, you know, glue down here just so you remember. And maybe do a little dot to kind of indicate. And you do the same thing on the R. So that is it for our pop-up flower. I have 3 bonus pockets I want to show you guys how to make. And one of them is called Prisoner of Crafting, and you need 3 pages for this. This is created by my sister, Raisin Bran, and that's what it looks like. The pages that we're going to be using is going to be the rip pages that we took out of the cookbook. And so I have 3 pieces here, and all I did is I put tape to kind of hold them together. And there's tape here on the second page, and no need to put tape over here. So I have 3 pages I'm working on. So we're going to pretend this is inside the book, okay? So the first step, what we're going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and mark from the top. From the top, we are going to mark the 3.5. And then 3.5 on the other side, like this. Then you want to take your cutting mat and take the first 2 pages, 1, 2, and put your cutting mat in there. And then we're going to cut. Make sure your pages are lined up. Once you have that cut, then you're going to measure 1 inch to the top, to the left, and to the bottom. And I know this ruler is 1 inch, and so I'm just going to go around for the inch. Once you have your 3 marks, take your ruler, and now we are going to mark 1 1/4, and then 1/4, like that. Then we're going to do it again. 1 1/4, and then 1/4 again. And then one more, we're just going to mark the 1 1/4. Like that. So now you're going to do the same thing on the top. Once you have your mark, you want to go ahead and trace your line. As you can see, I stopped right at the 1 inch mark at the bottom and then on the top. Not sure if you guys can see that. So now what we're going to do now is making sure is both of our paper are still together. And we might want to go ahead and maybe paper clip this so they kind of stay in place, because we're going to have to cut through these. And since they're not really attached to each other, this might help with the page moving. I think we're gonna have to do it this way. This. So what we're doing is we are cutting out this window. So we are cutting like here, 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 and then here. So we have this bar staying in place, this hole. So this, we're cutting the whole window. And you are cutting the first 2 pages. So here's the first window. Now we got to do the second, third, and fourth window. I have all my windows cut like this. Next step is get another rip page, and you are going to cut 1 1/2 inch like this, and you're going to fold it in half. So you're looking for 3/4, or you can do 1/2 inch, whatever. We're putting this in between like this. So you would need to fold it up, and then we need to go ahead and glue it to make it stronger. And I'm just going to use glue stick to do that. Once you have this strip glued, then we want to go ahead and put this in between, like this. And we're not going to glue it yet. We need to figure out where to put our holes. So with this one, I took one of the panel that we cut out and I folded it in half so I can kind of approximate where I need to do the hole. So I'm just going to do a mark on my strip. Oops. And you guys can eyeball it if you need to. I'm not good at eyeballing. So when I have my approximate mark, then I'm just gonna put a hole right where I think it's gonna be. Except I can't see my mark. Oh, there it is. Hard to see with the pencil. So here it is with the hole. Then let's go ahead. Let's see, I'm going to try to use my mat here. And I don't want it in the center. Maybe like that. I want to put it right there. So now I need to glue it. So taking your glue, Just trying to make sure it's straight. I am gonna go ahead and put glue here. And then I'm gonna put glue in between these bars. Make sure they're being held in place. I forgot to mention, because this is our reference, I didn't think about inking, but if you are using this for a journal, before you put this strip, you need to go ahead and ink around the panels, and then you want to ink your strip. I forgot to do that. So once you have it all inked and ready, I am putting glue just around here, like on the edges, because I want to make sure they are kept closed. And then I'm also going to put over here on the top and on the side. Oh, do we need to do this? Yes, we're going to go ahead and do it. And here. So now I just did my marking, so I know what they are, what the panel is, and the bar. Then on the back, I did my little note about inking the panel and the strip before gluing, and then making sure that you put ink around each panel. So with this one, you have something like this. So to glue this, you are going to add glue right here. And then you're going to put glue down here. Like that. Oh, yes. So glue here and there, and then it becomes a pocket. Now for this piece, what you can do with this one is you can go ahead and turn it into a top pocket. So you would put it here. And so at this point, you only need this page, so you can actually tear this off and then use this as the pocket. Or you can just glue these down together. So you would have a pocket like that. And that is it. So we're gonna get a washi tape, not a washi tape, my Post-it, and label it. So here's our pocket. Now we're gonna go ahead and put it at the very end of our book. Right here. And we are just going to paper clip it. And I guess if we wanted to, we can also staple it. So this is what it would look like if it was in the book. So this piece, you can make it into a pocket over here. The next pocket I want to show you guys, it's called the wallet. I invented this when I was thinking about making the wristlet, and I came up with another one, which is a wallet. It's got pocket over here, pocket here and here, and then you have 3 pockets here. No, 1, 2, 3. And then you have one here. And then this one, I made it where there's a pocket here, but I really don't think it's necessary anymore because you have all these little pockets in here. So we're gonna do it just slightly different than what I'm showing you guys here. So first thing first, we need to go ahead and get our 3 pages together like this, and making sure it's all taped so they are all connected together like this. Then the next thing we need to do is turn to the very end of your last page. So this one, and we are going to mark a 2-inch on the top like this. and then 2" at the bottom. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold it, crease it. Like this, but we actually need to turn this around like this. And I think, is that too big? Doing the 2" mark, it's gonna be a big fat wallet, so I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. And I just happen to have a line here, which is about another inch. And so I'm gonna try to fold another inch. Trying to do that line. Okay, I think that looks about right. So we have that. Then this one, you're going to fold it as, let's see, maybe if we fold this. You want to fold the second page to as close as you can, but not too close. Just enough to leave a little bit of a gap. Maybe, oh, I don't know, a sliver. Just something like that. And we need this to be in the inside. Like this. Put it like that. And so we are going to have the pocket here, the main pocket, like right here. Then on this is the front. Then you want to do the same thing, is to use the second page as kind of your guide. To fold, and then we'll need that on the inside. This. So now we'll have something like this. So to do the add-ons, we need another page. And I'm going to go with this page. And what I want is, we are creating this strip over here. So what I want is, I want to go ahead and mark 2.5 inches. So this is our add-on. So I'm marking 2.5 so I know where to fold. Let's see if I do 2.5. Or do I want to do, let's see, 2. Yes, I'm going to do 2.5. And I'm going to go ahead and fold. We are going to go from the inside here, like this. So this is going to go. Then now, this is too long. So we need to figure out how much do we want to cut off. So maybe we'll just fold it like this. I'm just estimating on this one. So there's this. And what we're doing is, you got one pocket here, a pocket here, and then here you can have 2. And so I need to go ahead and find the middle. Here's my page. And I'm marking there. And you are going to put glue right there. And then you're going to put glue here. And then glue here. So one pocket, two pocket. Then over here, of course, this one you're going to glue down. This. And then this one, you're putting glue at the top here. And then glue down here. And you'll have it here. So what I'm going to write here, this page, is an add on. And I'm going to go ahead and tape this. Just so it stays in place. Okay, so for this side, you'll need another add-on. And you want it to be the same height as your page. And so this one, this is about 3.5. And so I'm putting this here, and I think you need to go ahead and find the half, which I already did, and then we're cutting it off in half. This one is gonna go right here. And what I wanna do is I wanna do our notch here. So I have my little notch here. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm just eyeballing this, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and measure 1 inch here. I'm going to create my little window. So that looks about right, and maybe doing a, oh, I can't see with this ruler, maybe 1/2 inch at the bottom. Okay. And then what maybe, let's do 1 inch on each side. And then 1 inch on the other side. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut our square. So I have it cut. It's gonna go here. Then the other piece that went with this is going to be on here. And of course, with this one, I'm wondering, if you are cutting this, remember you need 2 of these so you can put whatever see-through material in between it. This is what I did with this. I have a plastic. And then you put it together before you gluing it down here. Then on this one, so you can see it's gonna be a little bit long, so we're gonna need to cut that off. But before we do that, let's make the pocket. So with this one, I want 3 pocket. And so we are going to use this. And then folding it like this. Let's see, let me cut this off a little bit. So with this one, I'm just gonna cut it up to this line. Makes it easier. So you guys can eyeball it. So now we have this, like this. So you're gonna have a pocket here, here, and then one here. And we need to go ahead and cut, maybe half an inch. So I want this all together. And what we're gonna do is tape it. Gonna go here. So with this one, oh, let's go ahead and cut it. I'll cut half an inch. Okay, let's see. We want this to be together like this. Yes, it's pretty good. We are gonna, this add-on, I think we're not gonna glue it. Maybe we'll just tape it. Yeah. So with this one, of course, you are going to put glue down here. And then over here, and then over here. Like this. And then this one, we can measure right here is 1.5 inches. And the one over here, it's 1 inch. And this was 1 inch. Then here you are putting glue here on the top. Goes here. Next page, you're putting glue here. Oh. And of course over here. You have to do the same thing. No, this is folded, so we don't need to put glue. Then over the last one, you are putting glue here. Over here. And then over here. Let's be upside down. Like that. And that pretty much it. So when you open the wallet, that should stay in place. You have a pocket here, 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 and then one big one here, two here, one big one here, and one big one here. Now for this one, you can go ahead and, oops, sorry, corner this. Like this. And we can also make some kind of closure, like what I did here. You want something heavy in here, so you see how that doesn't close very well. So you want something heavy, and it will close. So let me go find something. So here's my closure. I did this is 2 inches, and this is 1.5. So with this one, I want to put it here like this, but I want to design it kind of like this. And all I did with this one is I went ahead and just cornered one there and then the opposite like that, and see, and then you have that look. Okay, so that is the wallet. So we're gonna go ahead and label. And of course it's gonna look better once you really decorate it. So this is called the wallet. And we need 3 pages. And here it is. And so now we need to go ahead and put it in our book. Well, let's paper clip our wallet first, like this. Here, we are going to paper clip from the inside. Like that. And that's just going to be like that. The last pocket I'm going to be showing you is this one created by my sister, Raisin Bran, and it's called RB Sudoku, and you need 3 pages. This is what it looks like, and without anything in the pocket, it looks like this. So we're going to need 3 pages. So here's my 3 pages. I have it all taped. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So for this one, we are going to the second page, like this, and we're going to the back of it. So this is where we're going to be doing our marking. So with this, the first thing we need to do is take our ruler size, and I'm going to make this upside down so it's easier for me to mark it. You're going to mark a ruler size, so which is about 1.5 inches. Now this particular pocket, if you are going to decorate this page first, this page, you want to go ahead and do that before you do any type of cutting. So that way your pages are all together, and when you cut, you only have to cut once. We're marking it on the back so that way you don't have to erase all the pencil line. So we have that. Then the next thing we need to do is from the bottom, you are going to measure 2.5 inches. Like this. And then you're going to go ahead and draw your line. Like that. And you see I didn't put anything on the other side. We don't need it. Okay. Then once you have that, you are going to line up your ruler to the pencil mark that you have, and you're going to mark 1.5, 2, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and then, nope, sorry, I lied, not 4.5. So erase that. Let's see, we got 1, 2, so it's actually going to be 5.5. And that's it. We got 1, 2, 3. So let's do that again. Here on the other side, you are going to mark out 1.5 at 2, at 3.5, at 4, and then at 5.5. And then you're gonna go ahead and do your line. You're gonna go ahead and draw your line. Now, once you have your marking here, then you need to go to the bottom, the line over here that you have, and then we are going to, let's see, we're gonna turn it upside down, and we are going to line up where our line is, and then we're gonna do mark at 1.5, 2, 3.5, 4, and then 5.5. And you are going to do the same thing at the bottom, or not the bottom, at the top, right here. So doing your lines again. 1.5, 2, 3.5, 4, and then 5.5. And you're gonna go ahead and do your lines again. So once I have it marked, I went ahead and used my blue pen to go ahead and outline the squares. As you can see here, we have 9. It's just a lot easier to see, and so when you cut it, you're gonna be able to see it. So, but before we cut that, what we're gonna need to do is make our pocket slit here, which is gonna be right over here. So what we need to do is do some measuring again. This one, we just gonna use my ruler to kind of mark. I'm gonna draw a line here at the bottom like this. And then I want my pocket halfway here. So since I have this line already, that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm just going to mark. Maybe something like this. So what did I mark here? It's about, we're gonna say 3.5 is the opening. 3.5 right there. So that's one opening you're gonna cut, and then over here we are going to do the same thing. We want 1 inch on the top like this. So let's go ahead and mark the 1 inch. Oops. There's 1 inch. Then we are doing it to the 3 pockets. So with this one, we're lining it up here. Let's do a marking here. Might be a little too close to the edge. Maybe right here. So that is about 3/4 is what I marked from the edge over here. And then from there you are gonna mark, we're gonna go with 6 1/4. So right here you're cutting. I'm gonna erase this one. So right here. So you're going a little over your square. So you're gonna have a big pocket right here. And then another big pocket here. So now we are going to take our cutting mat and we're gonna go ahead and cut off these squares. So once you have all your square cut, then let's go ahead and cut the opening. let's go ahead and do the top. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is time consuming and it's very, there's a lot to do here. So there's a lot of cutting. So you do need a lot of patience. So now that we have it cut, the way you are going to glue it, before you glue, you need to go ahead and put in your see-through material if you are going to. If you're not, then that's fine. You can leave it like this. And what I would do now is I'm gonna go ahead. I actually made some die cut of my numbers. I mean, of course, you can just do a marker, but I didn't think it's gonna show up very well here. So I'm just gonna glue my number before I do anything. Oops. Wow, that's kind of hard to take out. Before I put anything else. So I have my number glued, and I went ahead and inked the pocket right here and right here. And before you put anything, your see-through material, you want to go ahead and ink all the squares. I'm not going to do that on this one because this is just our reference. So once you have that, then you're pretty much ready to glue. The way to glue it is over here. Of course, you're gonna glue right down here. Okay, I'm sorry, before we do that, these 2 pages, once you have your see-through material and you've already inked it, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and put glue all around the edges. So you're gonna put glue here to glue the whole page, right? And then this one here, you're gonna glue around the pocket. So on the bottom of and the top of your opening, like this. And then of course you're gonna put glue all around the squares. Just so they stay in place. And you wanna get close to the edge. Like that. If you're not putting anything in between, then you definitely wanna get close to this edge over here and then the edge at the bottom, because you don't want them to be lifting and whatever you're putting in there is going to create some problem. But if you are putting something in there, you really just need to do a straight one here, 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 and along there. Okay, so that should be all glued together. Then once you have that, this is gonna be a pocket to this here. So with this one, we're putting the glue here. Then on right over here, remember where our opening is? You're going to put glue right on the top, or actually on the bottom of the second square, like this. Glue, like that. So you're putting glue all the way here and then all the way here, and you're leaving this open. Right here, you're leaving this to open to be a pocket. So now this whole thing here, this, you're going to have to go ahead and glue. So you need to make sure you put glue on the top, just so that is going to stay close like this. When you have it open, that's going to be flat like this. Okay, so that's one. Then over here, you are going to put glue here, which is the top of your opening, and you're putting glue on the side here and then on the top over here, like this. So when this is all glued down, it's not going to be a problem. You're going to be able to put your whatever you're putting in the pocket like this. Okay. Then on the side here, you are just putting glue on the edge. Right all the way to here. And so with this, and I believe that's it, because this will be glued and this would be glued, and then it becomes a big pocket. And over here it's going to be glued, and this is glued in here, and then it's going to be, oops, a big pocket here. So again, it's going to be like this. You see how I can just put my note card in here and it's not a problem because this is really glued together like this. And then the same thing here, I can just put like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in. It's the last page. Oh, boy. So we did 3 pockets, and we did the Prisoner of Crafting, which looks like this. Then we did the wallet like this. Then we did do the Sudoku, which also looks like this. And of course, we also learned how to make the pop-up flower. So our cookbook is complete. We have a total of 31 different pockets you can use for your altered book. And my binder is also complete. Since I have this already made, I can add this at the very end. And the only thing I need to do is doing a tab. Like I said before, I still haven't found my tab, but once I find them, I am going to put them in here. And then this one, I took out all the stuff that was inside, and as you can see, it's not bulky at all. So we're complete, but now you're probably wondering, now what? How do I make my own altered book? How do I really figure out what to rip, how many pages to rip, and all that stuff? Well, on the next video, I am going to show you my process on how I create an altered book that I use to do some journaling. So stay tuned for that next week. Thank you guys so much for staying with me, and I hope you guys are enjoying my series. Until next time, happy crafting.